Welcome back to Don't Do This Guide, your go-to place for smart, sustainable, and sometimes surprising gardening tips. Today, we're diving deep into the wonderful world of composting. Specifically, we're going on a treasure hunt, not for gold or pirate booty, but for some seriously weird stuff you can add to your compost bin. We're talking about those everyday items lurking around your house that you probably didn't know could give your garden a serious nutrient boost. Get ready to see your trash in a whole new light, because we're about to unlock the hidden composting potential of things you probably thought were destined for the landfill. If you're into greener gardens and smarter hacks, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. Alright, let's kick things off with a compost ingredient that might make you say, "Wait, what?" Yep, you heard that right. Hair. Both your hair and your pet's fur are fantastic sources of nitrogen, which is like a 5-star meal for your compost pile's hungry microbes. Think about it, hair is basically protein, and protein is chock full of nitrogen. Now, before you go dumping the entire contents of your hairbrush into the compost, there's a catch. Hair, whether it's from your head or your furry friend, takes a while to break down. It's like that friend who takes forever to finish a meal. But here's the deal. Even though it breaks down slowly, it's still worth adding in moderation. Just sprinkle a bit here and there, like you're adding a pinch of fancy spice to your compost recipe. And hey, if you're feeling extra ambitious, you can even speed up the decomposition process by giving the hair a quick chop before adding it to the bin. Just think of it as giving your compost pile a little haircut. Trust me, those microbes will thank you for it in the long run. They'll be like, "Dude, this hair is the best. Thanks for the nitrogen boost." Next up, we've got a compost ingredient that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Use paper towels. But hold on, before you go tossing those greasy pizza-stained towels into the mix, there are a few ground rules. We're talking about unbleached paper towels, the kind that haven't been doused in harsh chemicals. You know, the ones that are basically like the superheroes of the paper towel world. These eco-friendly wonders are like the perfect side dish for your compost pile. They add a nice balance of carbon, which is like the fuel that keeps those composting microbes fired up and ready to break down all that organic goodness. Plus, paper towels are great at soaking up excess moisture in your compost bin. It's like having a built-in sponge that prevents things from getting too soggy. But remember, moderation is key here, folks. Don't go overboard and turn your compost bin into a paper towel graveyard. Just add a few here and there to keep things balanced and happy. Now let's talk about something a little more sophisticated. Wine corks. Okay, before you pop the cork on that celebratory bottle, not all corks are created equal in the world of composting. We're talking about real cork, the kind that comes from those beautiful cork oak trees. These natural corks are like the VIPs of the compost bin. They're a fantastic source of carbon and break down slowly, providing a steady supply of nutrients to your compost pile. It's like having a slow-release fertilizer that keeps on giving. But here's the catch. Synthetic corks, those imposters made from plastic, are a big no-no. They're like the party crashers of the compost world. So next time you're enjoying a glass of vino, remember to save that real cork and toss it in the compost bin. Your garden will thank you for it. Let's move on to something that will really spice up your compost. Expired spices. Yep, you heard that right. Those forgotten jars lurking in the back of your spice rack, turmeric, cumin, and paprika, can actually breathe new life into your compost pile. Spices are like the secret ingredient that gives your compost an extra kick. They're packed with essential nutrients and trace minerals that are beneficial for plant growth. Plus, they can even help to boost microbial activity in your compost, which is like throwing a party for all those beneficial bacteria and fungi. But here's the thing. We're talking about spices that are past their prime, the ones that have lost their flavor and potency. Don't go dumping your fresh, expensive spices into the compost bin. That's just wasteful. But those old, tired spices, they're like the comeback kids of the composting world, ready to shine once again. All right, let's talk about a compost ingredient that's a bit of a controversial character, dryer lint. Now, before you go emptying your lint trap into the compost bin, there's a crucial caveat here. We're talking about lint from clothes made from 100% natural fibers, like cotton, linen, or wool. These natural fibers are like the superheroes of the textile world, biodegradable and compost-friendly. They break down easily and add valuable nutrients to your compost pile. However, lint from synthetic fabrics like polyester or nylon is a big no-no. These synthetic fibers are basically plastic in disguise and can take hundreds of years to decompose. Plus, they can introduce harmful microplastics into your compost, which is like inviting a bunch of uninvited guests to your compost party. So, before you toss that lint in the bin, check those clothing labels carefully. Now let's talk about some compost ingredients that are small in size but mighty in nutrients. Nail clippings and eggshell membranes. Yep, you heard that right. Those tiny bits of keratin and calcium are like hidden treasures for your compost pile. Nail clippings, believe it or not, are a great source of nitrogen. They're like the tiny ninjas of the compost world, packing a surprising punch of nutrients. And eggshell membranes? Well, they're like the superheroes of calcium, providing a much-needed boost for your plants. But here's the thing, both nail clippings and eggshell membranes take a while to break down. They're like those friends who like to take their sweet time. So, if you're adding them to your compost, be patient. Good things come to those who wait, especially in the world of composting. Let's dive into the world of marine compost ingredients, shall we? Seaweed and kelp are like the rock stars of the ocean, packed with micronutrients and minerals that can supercharge your compost pile. Think of them as the ultimate multivitamins for your garden. They're like the secret weapon of coastal gardeners, adding a boost of ocean magic to their compost. But here's the catch. Seaweed and kelp can be salty, and too much salt can be a buzzkill for your plants. So before you add them to your compost, give them a good rinse with fresh water. It's like giving them a quick shower to wash away the excess salt. Once they're rinsed and ready to go, they'll be like the life of the compost party, adding a burst of ocean freshness to your pile. Alright, fashionistas and clothing enthusiasts, this one's for you. Did you know that you can compost old cotton clothes? Yep, you heard that right. Those worn-out t-shirts, threadbare towels, and faded pillowcases can actually find new life in your compost bin. But hold on, there's a catch. We're talking about 100% cotton fabrics, the kind that are biodegradable and break down easily. Synthetic fabrics like polyester or nylon are a big no-no. They're like the party crashers of the compost world, lingering around for decades and causing all sorts of trouble. So, before you toss that old t-shirt in the bin, check the label carefully. Now let's talk about a compost ingredient that might seem a little unconventional, vacuum dust. Yep, you heard that right. That dust bunny collection from your vacuum cleaner could actually be a gold mine for your compost pile. But hold on, there are a few important caveats here. We're talking about vacuum dust from natural fiber carpets and rugs, as well as pet hair. These natural materials are like the VIPs of the vacuum dust world, biodegradable and compost-friendly. However, vacuum dust from synthetic carpets, treated fabrics, or households that use a lot of chemical cleaners is a big no-no. It's like inviting a bunch of uninvited guests to your compost party, potentially introducing harmful substances into your pile. So before you dump that vacuum canister into your compost bin, think about the source of that dust. Alright, compost enthusiasts, now that we've explored the wonderful world of unusual compost ingredients, let's recap with some essential do's and don'ts. First up, the do's. Do compost your fruit and vegetable scraps, yard waste, coffee grounds, tea bags, eggshells, shredded paper, cardboard, and of course those weird and wonderful ingredients we've discussed today. Now for the don'ts. Don't compost meat, dairy products, oily foods, diseased plants, pet waste, or anything treated with pesticides or herbicides. These items can attract pests, create unpleasant odors, and introduce harmful substances into your compost. Remember, composting is all about balance. Aim for a good mix of carbon-rich materials like dry leaves and shredded paper, and nitrogen-rich materials like food scraps and grass clippings. Keep your compost pile moist but not soggy, and turn it regularly to provide oxygen for those beneficial microbes. And most importantly, have fun with it. Experiment with different ingredients, observe what works best in your compost bin, and enjoy the fruits and vegetables of your labor. There you have it, 10 uncommon compost ingredients that can supercharge your pile and transform your soil. From hair-raising nitrogen boosts to the ocean magic of seaweed and kelp, these unusual additions can take your composting game to the next level. Give them a try and let nature do the rest. Remember, composting is like a superpower. It's a simple, yet incredibly impactful way to reduce waste, nourish your garden, and create a healthier planet. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and share your own unusual compost hacks. See you in the next one.